Hello. Well, I'm not a installer, influencer, or videographer. However, I am an avid motorcyclist who sometimes takes on projects. Here's my experience installing the Diode SS3 2007 Toyota Tundra. So this is the Diode I believe it's the SS3. Got these on sale earlier this month, and got these for a 2007 Toyota Tundra. So let's look at how the install is going. So I see a lot of folks that are, well, they unpackage the darn things, and I'm like, I really don't care about that. But you're going to note that inside one of the boxes, a little QR code tells you how to install the lights. And all I can tell you is it's worthless. But there's an example of the light and the bulb that was taken out of the old fog lamp, along with a little bit of the hardware. One light is already installed, and I can tell you I cussed like a sailor. So here it is with the first one installed, and I gotta tell you, what a freaking nightmare. Let's come on around and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So there's the light, right? And the back side of it, you can see the original one's taken out. What the instructions don't describe is that bracket at the top and the right side that resulted in me cussing quite a bit. First off, the hardware was rusted, and that's just age of the truck. It's a 2007. And what we've got is I had to, in fact, take the whole assembly out so that I could drill a hole on the right-hand side to get the adjustment screw put into the right side of the lamp. So what a freaking nightmare this thing is. And again, if only the instructions had provided some degree of how-to on this thing, because otherwise I was just, well, let's just say cussing. And frankly, I don't even know what a sailor cusses like that I referenced earlier. So let's just leave it at that. I'm gonna go ahead and install the other one, and we'll take some videos of how that one goes, and I will watch my language. All right, here's the left side, and I got the liner off the wheel well. So here we have it, and there's the fog light. I've gone ahead and removed the bulb. So these are the screws that the instructions don't seem to describe. And what you can see here is the challenge you have of getting in here to remove that tab in order to eventually put the screw in to the new light. So here we go. See what we can do to get this one apart without cussing. So here I am inside getting ready to remove these two tabs, and you can see this one on the right side, pretty easy to get to up here. We come around to the other side, and you can see that the tab is actually blocked in here by this bracket. And this is the bracket that no one seems to want to talk about when they're describing how to install these lights. So next steps. All right, so the light is out, and what I did is I disconnected this right side first. Then I go ahead and I push out the adjustment screw piece here. And with those two released, the third one just pops out like goes out. Next step, take the screwdriver, put it through, and from that point you can go ahead and mark that side of that bracket, you see. So that way you'll know where to drill a hole. Mark it up. Oh, look at that. Okay, so there's an inside look of these two screws that you've got here that you got to get out. Actually small little bolts. And what you've got is you've got the bracket that's up here up top. Okay. Make sure you get a pair of pliers and hold on to that, otherwise it will twist out and then you got nothing but problems. So again, hold on to that bracket there with some pliers, and that will enable you to go ahead and pull that screw out. All right, there you have it. There's the brackets that no one talks about, and at this point we're ready to go, and we're going to in fact drill a small hole in this piece right here. Okay, I'm also going to recommend that you go ahead and chase the threads on this. You want to have a M6 by 1.0. It is a 10 millimeter head on the bolt, but nonetheless, chase the threads. It'll make it a lot easier to go in. And there we go. Okay, so the question might be, how big of a hole do you drill? Well, for me, it's big enough so I can get the head of the screw through, or the little bolt, okay? And then what that means is that once you get this put in there, you gotta fish and get the washer on the inside of that. But nonetheless, not that big of a hole. I really don't want to harm the integrity of that tab. So there you have it. I've taken these off. I've cleaned those threads out, and I'm ready to go and get things installed. All right, there you can see it appears to be through, and it's on the back side of that bracket. I'm putting a little rat file through there. So, in the event that you don't have it quite lined up right, you just go ahead and you can file yourself with some more plastic. But in a nutshell, that's it, and everything's back in. Next steps, here we go. Okay, so now as you're trying to bring the bracket in, you can see one of the problems you're going to have is when it comes in, it hits that bolt, that head right there on the left-hand side. So you're going to have to sort of finagle this thing in here so that ultimately it fits. And we go on to the next steps. Okay, so the bracket's in here, and I gotta be honest with you, the way that it sits in here, it's not necessarily flush with the can. And all I can see is water, debris, all kinds of crap floating through there over the years. So anyway, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. There you go. Alrighty, so we've got it installed. Again, the little bolt went through this hole here. To get the washer through there, I just string it down with some dental floss to get the washer inside. Now, I don't drill those wide enough or big enough to put the washer through, again, trying to preserve the integrity of that plastic tab. So, now here's the fun part that I learned on the other side. You're going to note that this is the Diode dynamic, and you'll notice the plus minus there, right? Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see, where's my, here we go. There's the Toyota. And it's probably tough to see, but there is in fact a little plus minus on there. There you go. I think you got a good view of that. So what would you think? Does positive go with positive? Negative with negative? All right, just ran a little voltmeter on this thing, and sure as heck again, the negative is the positive on this thing. So I actually spent yesterday about an hour and a half trying to figure out why the damn light on the other side wouldn't work. Pardon the expression. And anyway, finally swapped it around and it worked. Now, one of the things that got me frustrated is that, this thing from Dynamic Diode, it just is a heck of a time getting it to fit inside. And so I've actually taken sandpaper to this and tried to narrow it down. I also put some dielectric grease on it to try and create a little bit of slippage. Grease it up a little bit. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this other tab over here just to make sure it fits. Otherwise, it's going to get hung up here on this Toyota piece. So. All right, the job wrapped up last weekend, and I've been driving it in the early morning, late at night. No complaints. Apparently, haven't them adjusted properly. So overall, very impressed with the quality. Puts out great light. Just a little frustrated with the instructions. Project's done. On to the next one.